Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am your instructor from EduSmart Studio. I hope you all are doing well. In today's lecture, we will discuss the third element of curriculum, which is teaching methods. In our previous sessions, we discussed the first and second element of curriculum. If you have not watched those lectures yet, I recommend you to watch them first for better clarity and understanding, because each lecture in this series is connected to the next one. And understanding these elements step by step will help you clearly understand how curriculum works in teaching learning process. So let's begin our today's lecture. Learning objectives. This means at the end of this lecture you will be able to define teaching methods, differentiate between learner-centered and skill-based methods, describe factors influencing teaching method selection, and you will be able to select appropriate teaching methods from classroom situations. Let's discuss the third element of curriculum, that is teaching methods. Teaching methods refers to the techniques, approaches and strategies used by teachers to deliver subject matter. These help students learn effectively. This element answers the questions how to teach the content or subject matter. Types of teaching methods. Teaching methods are grouped in three major clusters such as learner-centered method, skill-based methods, teacher-centered methods. Let's discuss each group one by one. Learner-centered methods. Learner-centered methods focus on active participation of students. These are some examples of learner-centered methods of teachings, such as discussion method, group project, inquiry or discovery method, and cooperative learning. These methods focus on active participation and students' involvement in learning process. These approaches encourage students to think, participate, collaborate and construct their own understanding. I hope this is clear. Next comes skill-based methods. Skill-based methods focus on development of practical and analytical skills. Example, skill-based methods help students apply knowledge and develop real-life competencies. And following are the skill-based methods of teachings, such as problem-solving methods, case study method, e-learning and flipped classroom. These methods focus on developing practical, analytical and problem-solving skills. These approaches help students apply knowledge, analyze situations and develop real-life competencies. Teacher-centered methods. Teacher-centered methods focus on teacher-led instruction, in which teacher explains the lessons and students mainly listen and follow the instruction. These are some examples of teacher-centered methods. In lecture method, the teacher explains the topic verbally while students listen and take notes. In drill method, students practice the same task repeatedly to improve accuracy and memory. And in direct instruction, the teacher teaches the lesson step by step and guides the students in learning. So as an educator, always select teaching methods that are learner-centered and skill-based. Never select teaching methods that are only teacher-centered. I hope the lecture so far is clear. Next comes selection of teaching methods. These are the key factors of teaching method selection. So when selecting the most suitable teaching methods, educators must consider several important factors to ensure effective learning, such as learning objectives, learners' characteristics, classroom size and environment, available resources, and teachers' competence. While selecting teaching methods, the following key factors should be considered. The first important key factor is learning objectives. This means the teaching method must align or line up with what students are expected to achieve. For example, if objectives are based on cognitive domains, then methods such as lectures and discussions are appropriate because they help develop knowledge and understanding. If the objectives relate to the psychomotor domain, then hands-on activities should be selected to develop practical skills. For affective domain objectives, group work and role play are suitable because they help shaping students' attitudes, values and social skills. Therefore, the selection of teaching methods should always match the proposed learning objectives. I hope this is clear. Another important factor in selection of teaching method is learners' characteristics. This means teaching method should match learners' level and needs, including students' age, prior knowledge, learning styles and abilities. For example, young learners respond better to activities, stories and visual aids, while advanced learners can engage in projects, debates and independent research. So, understanding learner characteristics help teachers select teaching methods that match students' abilities and improve learning outcomes. Another important factor is classroom size and environment. This means teaching methods should be selected according to the physical setup of the classroom and number of students. For example, in a small class, interactive discussion and group work are more effective because participation is easier in small classes. In large class, lectures and multimedia presentations are more suitable to manage time and maintain control. Therefore, classroom conditions play an important role in teaching method selection. So, always consider classroom size and environment while selecting teaching methods. Another important factor is available resources and time. This means teaching methods should match the available materials, equipments and time allotted for the lesson. For example, lab experiments require proper equipments and preparation time, while multimedia presentation requires a projector or computer. Therefore, teachers must consider resources and time before selecting an appropriate teaching methods. I hope this is clear. Another crucial factor in selecting teaching methods is teachers' competence. This means a teacher's knowledge, skills and experiences determine which methods can be applied effectively. For example, a teacher trained in science experiments can successfully conduct hands-on or lab activities, while a teacher is skilled in storytelling can use story-based methods to teach language more engagingly. Therefore, choosing teaching methods should consider teachers' strength to ensure effective and meaningful learning. To conclude, effective teaching requires a careful selection of appropriate teaching methods. Teachers should prefer learner-centered and skill-based methods because they encourage active participation, critical thinking, collaboration, and practical skill development. While teacher-centered methods may be useful in some situations, relying only on them can limit students' engagement and learning outcomes. Therefore, teachers should select teaching methods by considering learning objectives, learner characteristics, classroom environment, available resources, and their own competence to ensure meaningful and effective learning. That is all for today's lecture. If you have any questions about today's topic, please write them in the comment section below and I will respond as soon as possible. If you found this lecture helpful, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe EduSmart Studio for more informative lectures. This is your assignment. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.